Hi, Battle Brawlers. I'm Negative Legend, and this is a video for catching up everyone who's just now finding out Bakugan is coming back. If you're just now discovering Bakugan's back, Bakugan's a thing again, the answer is yes, it is. We've known about this for a while. If you're not part of this channel, then you wouldn't have known about it because I've been updating everyone on what's been happening. So this is just a quick video for everyone who's missed a lot of things. Because I've been making videos on the leaked images that's been coming out, on the website that had a countdown of what's been going on, and a lot of things have been going on, and I have a playlist of like everything that's been happening if you want to check that out. But this is a video for people who don't have that kind of time. So this is for you. In case you aren't aware, this December 15th and 16th was the Bakugan sneak peek event, where they got a bunch of YouTubers, such as myself, and a few other people, and flew them out to LA to Spin Master headquarters to give us a sneak peek of the new show and of the new toys, and we played in the first tournament ever. It was an invitational tournament, so that's a thing. So I have a vlog series on that if you want to get the full in-depth experience, but I'm gonna tell you, if you watch the series, I've been taking notes the entire time. This is the video where I tell you all the notes I took. So first thing we need to know about is the Bakugan Diamond. The Bakugan Diamond are the translucent Bakugan. The translucent Bakugan are coming back. The plastic translucent ones are back, but they are the chase Bakugan. They're gonna be slightly more powerful. They're going to be much harder to get, and they're only going to be available for the first release of the first wave of Bakugan. So if you play trading card games, think of them as the first print run. For only the first print run of Bakugan, there's going to be Diamond Bakugan in store shelves. Those are going to be the chase ones. They're going to be the ones everyone wants. They're going to be hard to get. I did ask them about how they'll address the pay-to-win aspect, because if you just shove all the 6-year-olds aside and grab the Diamond Bakugan, and now you have more powerful Bakugan than anyone else. They do have that in mind. They are planning to use the evolve mechanic to make sure that stays away from making it so pay-to-win, and they have ways to counter that, and they have that in mind, so you don't need to really worry about that part. There's two versions of the game. There is the advanced toy version. I made a video about all the rules you need for that one. There is a simpler version where it's just the Bakugan. So in the advanced version, you use the trading cards, and in the simpler version, you just roll the Bakugan onto the Baku Core, compare numbers, and then bam, you find a winner. That's for the 6-year-olds, and then the advanced toy version is for us legacy players, us adults, and kids too. I mean, like, there's kids. I mean, in the invitational tournament, there was kids who was playing in there. So we're like, yeah. I mean, if your kid is good enough, they can definitely play in the tournament. They've been working on this for about 3 years. This is the way they explained it to me is that Bakugan made them the company that they are, and so to Spin Master, this is an extremely important legacy brand for them, and they wanted to take it as seriously as they possibly could. They knew that they needed to wait 10 years after the show kind of dropped off. In case you're brand new, actually, 10 years ago, Bakugan was a show. Bakugan was already a thing. It had 4 series. It had Battle Brawlers. It had Nuvastroya, Gundalian Invaders, and then Mectanium Surge. And then everyone just kind of agreed. It slowly got worse and worse and worse. And it didn't age well. If you watch it now, it looks pretty bad, and the writing is pretty bad. I still love it, don't get me wrong. I watched it when I was a kid, but I have enough rationality to know it's not good. So they waited 10 years to wait for the kids who grew up with Bakugan back then to grow up, to have this nostalgia, to have an disposable income, to have disposable income to spend on new toys, and now there's a new demographic of adults and kids who want the Bakugan, and it's a smart idea. So for the new game, I talked to some of the designers. I talked to one of the creators of the game. There's either one creator of the game or there's multiple, and I only got to talk to one. Point is, the guy I talked to, Justin, he's in the vlog series also. He is a Magic the Gathering Pro Tour player. If you're noticing that the game is a lot more complicated and a lot better, that's why. It's an actual game now. The Bakugan are different sized. So as you can see here, the Bakugan, this is a new Bakugan. This is the Darkest Hydrus, and this is Limulus from the original series. They are bigger. This is the new Bakugan, and they are now 36 millimeters in diameter. That means that you cannot use your old Bakugan in the new game, because that does affect the gameplay. And so that is a bummer, but honestly, like, of course they do that. Like, if you weren't expecting them to do that, like, come on. If they want you to buy the new toys, why would they let you use the old ones? That doesn't make sense. So the way they worded it is that the game is supposed to be the ultimate combination of a card game and toy. And you need the toys to play the game. Like, you need the actual Bakugan, and you need the card that aligns with the Bakugan to play the game correctly. And so, a bit more collecting, but for me, that's only more fun. Lightning, the dog, the French Bulldog, here's a picture of him, bam. In the show, they mentioned, just as a passing joke, that during all the meetings they had to have to make sure everything collaborated correctly between the show and the game and the cards, because it's all different divisions. In their notes after each meeting, they were like, yes, dog for comedy. And that's what they wrote every single time, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, it's a dog. You're not really gonna upset too many people by having a dog in the show. So one thing that they wanted to focus on in the show was to make sure that the creature and the brawler actually worked together, because in the original Gen 1 show, you just had Dan and Runo and everyone else just standing at the side, telling your creature what to do, and sometimes throwing some ability cards. Otherwise, it was just them standing there. Now, Dan and, Leah and Winton actually have to run and pick up upgrades and give it to their Bakugan, either throw it to them or run to them and give it to them. And it's just so much better. It's more interactive, and the action in the show is so good. The action is so great. The show is also written by Man of Action, or the same people who wrote Ben 10, well, the same company that wrote Ben 10. So that's a thing. The only returning voice actor from the original show is Drago. And if we got anyone, like, we kind of wanted Drago, so that's a plus. I'm a little appreciative of that. So in terms of the show is very anime. The show is done by TMS. It's still done by TMS. And TMS is this Japanese animation company. It's a Canadian-Japanese collaboration effort, like it was last time. And TMS is the same people who did Akita. Well, it's the same company that did Akita. I don't know if it's the same people. Probably not the same people. Same company. But they know what they do. They know what they're doing. That's the point. The thing is, it suffers from some anime tropes. And since I watch a lot of anime, that's not really going to affect me that much, but you probably want to prepare yourselves for that in case that annoys you in any way. I still recommend giving the show a shot. I like it. They reuse some sound effects from the old series. It's a little hard to pick up sometimes, but I managed to hear it. When we were at the sneak peek event, we got to see the first 2 episodes in a theater with the designers, and it was really cool. And yeah, that's why I tell you should probably watch the vlog series I did, because you missed a lot. You missed a whole lot. Ventus is now Earth. It's probably a shocker for some of you, but they did some marketing research and they found out Subterra was the least popular of them all, so they decided, you know what, let's get rid of it. Get rid of it and let's replace it with Aurelis, which is supposed to be like metal, we think. I didn't actually get confirmation on that, but we think it's supposed to be metal or gold, something along those lines. And now they moved Earth to be Ventus. So Ventus is no longer wind. A lot of people are saying, oh my gosh, Ventus literally means wind, but whatever, doesn't matter, Ventus is now Earth. I can't change it. I think it's a little ridiculous too. If you look at it, it's more like nature. It doesn't feel too weird, but they still say it's Earth. Will they be making a video game? The answer is that they definitely want to. I asked that question and they said that they're basically going to wait to see how good the show does, to see how good the toys sell, and if it gets popular enough, they are definitely going to make a game. It is going to be on Switch. There is one thing that they mentioned, is that when we were talking, I was sitting with Ilanuk, link to him in the description. He's also making a bunch of Bakugan content. He was invited to the LA event also. We were talking to some of the people behind the game, and they said that they already have a developer ready to make the game. They just need to wait and make sure that it's popular enough to make a game for it. And they said the developer, they can't tell us who it is, but it's one of the developers who owns one of the characters in Smash Bros. Ultimate. And so we went into a back and forth like, Sonic is in there, maybe it's Sega. Capcom is a thing, because Mega Man and Bayonetta, so maybe Capcom. And so that's a thing that you probably want to look out for. So in terms of the show, in terms of the TV show, the show will be a mix between episodic fun adventures, and as time goes on, they will have episodes where the stakes get higher, and it's going to be a lot more story focused. So you don't need to really worry about that too much. You just gotta wait a little bit. But for now, just enjoy the show for what it is. Damage to the city, I thought this was funny. Damage to the city is repaired after every battle. and that's how they get around the rating for TV, because they want to keep that TV PG rating. The way they got around it is, no, there's not actually mass destruction. After the hide matrix is closed, everything goes back to normal, and there's no actual damage. And I'm like, I see what you did there. Vestroya is part of the show. Vestroya is an aspect to all of this, but the way they worded it was they said that Vestroya and Earth are now one. They're now one thing. And so we didn't really know what they meant by that. They said they're not going to answer what that means. What we're guessing is that the collision is that event of Vestroya and Earth coming together. That's our guess. We don't know. That's a pretty logical guess. But if I'm wrong, don't get angry at me. It's just a theory. The awesome ones are YouTubers. The trio in the show, Dan, Leah, and Winton, are known as the awesome ones, and they're a bunch of 10-year-olds that own a YouTube channel. And I thought it was pretty meta because they got a bunch of YouTubers for the first event for the show where the main characters are YouTubers, and I'm like, I see what you did there. And the Doom Dimension is not coming back. We asked for that, it is not a thing. They said they liked it, but they wanted to move on to something new. So that's a bummer, but, you know, I can understand that. International cards. Is that everything? That's everything. Okay, so international cards. Funny story, when we were on our way back to the airport, Ilinuk and I missed our bus because there was a miscommunication and misinformation being spread around. So we got off the bus, it left, and we were stuck at the HQ, and we're like, we need to get home. And so we figured we'd just get an Uber. It wasn't that big of a deal. Our flights were at like 5 and 6, and it was like 1 o'clock, so we were fine. But we hung out, Ilinuk, me, and Kimbo Slice. Kimbo Slice is another YouTuber that was invited. He's been opening a ton of Bakugan products. Link to him is in the description also. Check him out. He's a cool guy. It's funny, like, us YouTubers, we try to like amp up our personality to entertain you guys, and that's pretty common. But Kimbo is just real. Like, the way he acts in his videos is the exact same way he acts in real life, and I'm like, wow, did not expect you to be this high energy. I'm like, I like it. So, when we were all hanging out, the design team was like, hey, you guys want to see the international cards? And we're like, sure? So, in order to explain the international cards, basically, the English cards just have English. But for the UK area, the Europe area, all of Europe, they had to have 9 languages they needed to accommodate, and instead of making 9 different cards, they said, what if we put all the languages on 1 card? And then they realized that was a horrible idea because it looked terrible. So they decided, okay, we have 9 languages, split it into 3s, and make it to where the cards have 9 languages on them. So here's an example of 2 of them. They gave us, the Ilinuk, Kimbo, and I, as of right now, as of the recording this, are the only people in the world who own the international cards. That's gonna change. These are slowly gonna be not as amazing as they are right now, but I can show you what they are right now. This is what it looks like. This is not the best image. You know what? I'll get some B-roll footage for you. Bam! Here's the footage for you. This is what it looks like. As you can see, there is one Shadow Breath, Souffle d'Ombre, I don't know how to pronounce it, Respiration de Sombra. And this is English, French, and Spanish. And another one is more of the Scandinavian languages, along with Russian. And so these are the international cards. They gave me a few. They gave us all a lot. These are all international cards, so these are mine. Like, I was thinking, maybe I should sell these on eBay. No, mine. That's everything you missed from the sneak peek event from 10 years ago. You don't need to watch the original show. This is all new stuff, so don't worry about that. And you can't use your old Bakugan. Please stop asking me that question. I've answered that question like a trillion times in the comment section, and I'm like, I'm just gonna link this video now. So if you got linked this video, that's why. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay beautiful and keep playing.